We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin.
Interrupt this broadcast to bring you this important bulletin from the United Press. Bring you this important bulletin from the United Press.
This is not a test. Every Tuesday, the Journey into Comics Network will bring you The Poor Rapport, your one-stop podcast shop for everything news and topics of personal interest. I am your host, Andrew Poor, and you can hear me every Tuesday.
The following is a Journey into Comics Network production.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Journey into Comics, the podcast about everything nerd, with your hosts, Nate Phillips and Brandon Stone.
We've come a long way from the Prime Minister's exploding cake. Or have we?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Journey into Comics, episode 176, or so it seems. I'm one of your hosts, Brando. Joining me here today, my illustrious co-hosts, the G'er of G's.
I like how you did that there. Okay, I like that. Okay. Hey, Brando, how's it going, buddy?
It's going pretty good, man. You know what? It's going pretty good here. And, of course, if you're listening to us here on Journey to Comics, you know, we have a whole network of things going on. You can check us out here every single Monday on the Journey to Comics Network.
Kicking off your week.
Kicking off your week right here on journeyintocomics.com. And, of course, you can check us out on all your favorite podcast services. We're everywhere, man. You just search us. You'll find us. We got shows all throughout the week. Go and check us out. And head us out on social media. You can try and find, and maybe you, Nate, what we should do is we just start putting out some more stuff, with scheduling, just to remind people, hey, here's a picture of all the schedules, here's the days that they're on, and all that jazz, just to kind of, engage with the audience even more. Nate, it's been a few days since we last talked to each other, and since then, I think I've grown older. I feel like I have a few more gray hairs on the top of my head, and I saw something today that really made me feel my age.
Okay.
And that was 20 years ago. Will Smith released "Getting Jiggy with It." Na 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 na.
Getting jiggy with it.
In 1998, dude, 1998. Okay, so yesterday, I was at work and working with this girl, and another guy that we were working with said something about her age, and he asked what year she was born. She replied 1997.
What the fuck?
And then he looked at me, this person being the one and only Rolo. If you listen
what
to
up, Rolo?
So Richard looks at me and says, "Bro, we were learning to drive when she was in kindergarten." And I'm just
wow.
Oh, dude, it makes me feel so old. And the thing is that I'm not, dude. I have a lot of youth, and I still have a lot of energy to do stuff, even though, like, my body is starting to feel like the aches and pains of working in a factory for 12 years with, with some back tension and some knee stuff. And this weird shin pain that I would feel in like my left ankle.
Like shin splints?
Yeah, like Shinsuke, Shinsuke, my shins are hurta, my shins are hurta. Shinsuke, my knees are hurta. It just like, man, I've got that going on, but it's not entirely immobile for me to get stuff done. And obviously a lot of that is just my own stupidity. I'll just come out and say it, for just not going and saying, "Pop my back, doc," and then him, I'm like, okay, that makes me feel better. I need to take better care of myself so I can, keep doing what I'm doing and, for longer, obviously. But I'm at like this halfway point where I'm starting to feel oh my God, you guys are so young and stupid, you're eating Tide Pods. And
I thought that wasn't going to make it. I thought that wasn't ever going to make an appearance in JIC, but I guess we need to talk about this. But go ahead.
Well, okay, because I saw a meme the other day, and this person was saying, like, people who throwing rocks and stones at millennials, which I guess we are. we used to be called Generation Y, but then that changed to just encompass us and people born closer to the year 2000. Because Generation X ended like a couple years before us. They're like our older brothers and sisters and stuff like that. So Generation Y morphed into millennial. So like, because when I think millennial, I think younger people, not me.
Correct. Same.
But we are in that time frame. So I saw this thing where it said, people talking all this shit about millennials. Meanwhile, baby boomers and Gen Y can't keep the government going, and Gen Z are eating Tide Pods.
Yeah. Jesus. Tide Pods, Brando. Who did that? Who thought, man, this would be a tasty snack? I just don't get it. I don't see where I get my strange addiction and stuff, and I saw that lady that ate Comet or whatever. Like, rotting out her fucking mouth and shit, but like, Tide Pod, dude. Is it because it looks like it would be tasty? Because it's not.
All these weird, stupid challenges.
Are you glad that we did not grow up in this era where all these dumbass challenges have been happening and like crazy shit? Like there's that blue whale thing. Do you know about that? It's like this weird challenge that, okay, so essentially there's like some blue whale challenge, and no, folks, I don't encourage anyone to do this. If you're fucking stupid enough to let someone else control you like this, then I hate to speak ill of the dead, but you kind of deserve what comes to you. So whatever happens is this blue whale challenge tells you to do a certain thing, and then it amps it up, and then it keeps amping it up, and like you have to prove yourself and do the challenge every week. Well, at some point it'll be like, go to the top of a roof and jump. The end. Like that's the end of the challenge. You killed yourself.
Well, it didn't say how high of a roof, so I can go to the top of the doghouse on the roof of the doghouse and just jump for it.
Yeah, but it's weird because I think like several kids died from this, like doing this weird thing. Like they would like, okay, I'll jump in front of a train. That's not going to hurt. Like, what did you think was going to fucking happen? Do you
remember watching a video in like, it might have been in driver's ed, but I want to say it was in school or something, where like it just showed this girl walking down some train tracks with like a set of headphones on.
Yes, that was driver's education.
Man,
bad times.
Over here, they actually had to pay extra for driver's ed. Like,
I know, that's so crazy to me.
Like I got told they paid like $900, and they weren't even taught how to change a tire.
Hey, Brando, do you want to know the best part is? My whole life growing up, always making jokes about Hoosier drivers and how terrible they are, and now I understand it. Of course, people are going to be shitty drivers if they have to pay a lot of money to learn and they don't get the best experience. We had, like, the G'est of teachers, Mr. Sollers, shout out to you, like, phenomenal driver's education teacher.
I loved how he'd be looking down at, like, obviously this is before smartphones. He'd be looking down and looking at papers or something, and he would still stomp on that little brake over there, like before you wrecked into somebody.
Oh yeah, he was always in the know and always knew what was up. I had the really early driving class with him. Like I would get up at 6:30 in the morning to be at his house to like start driving around. So I would drive before school and like take him. We would eventually end up going because it was like three of us in a car. So we each got like a 30-minute turn or whatever, and then we would end up at school right when school started, and that was the day. It was pretty awesome. We would get coffees and whatnot, and I very fondly remember those times. Yeah, but it's shocking though. You hear like, oh, we mostly wait till we're 18 to learn how to drive. Well, again, there's another problem. Like, you're going to soak in more information and be more serious with your driving if you're a little bit younger when you learn,
Well, man, have you ever encountered this thing that back home this wasn't a thing, where somebody is turning left and everybody behind them are just driving on the right side to go around them?
Oh, yeah, that's a real fucking thing that really pisses me off in the region, as it were.
Well, dude, it's not just up there, it's down here too, and it like I'm just like, what's going on? I'm stopped behind them thinking that the flow of traffic, and these guys are buzzing around me, and my wife's like, go around them. I'm like,
how the fuck am I supposed to?
That's not a thing. Like, that's why they have that piece of road there for. And yes, over here they have extra road pieced out so you can just go around people that way. And people do that in intersections where like there's a possibility of them getting hit by somebody. Oh my God.
I love
anyway,
that.
Guys, we are here to talk about some comics. We are Journey to Comics. Currently, we have touched on Tide Pods, Millennials, Gen Z, and Driver's Ed.
Welcome to the show, Tangent 3000.
So we've been doing this show for so long that this show has evolved into general discussion. There are no more comics to talk about. We have talked about every single comic that's ever existed ever.
Go check the backlog.
Go check the backlog. We started
for yourself.
We started on issue 1 of like of like a caveman wall, and worked our way to here, where we're going to be talking about some Doomsday Clock today. The new Doomsday Clock dropped, and this is issue 2 or issue 3.
Numero trace.
I like how you say that, like, Brando, you should know this, and I'm like, I don't. I know
No,
it's been around for
I'm
a
not
little
saying it like you should know it. I'm just saying it matter of factly that yes, this is absolutely issue 3. Before we actually get into the actual like comic book side of this, did you hear about the controversy?
There's always controversy going on right now in the Globe, Nate. You got to be a little bit more specific.
So DC Comics issues an apology for a distasteful tweet. They hashtagged, or actually they just tweeted this, take your mind off of the real hashtag Doomsday Clock with Doomsday Clock number 3 out now.
They should not have had to apologize for that.
I agree. I thought it was clever.
With as much ridiculousness that our like own world leader is like he's one of the world leaders, and he's posting some of this outlandish shit. He shouldn't have, like, DC shouldn't have to apologize. There was something I did see. Speaking of Doomsday Clock, it was a meme, and it was Vince McMahon announcing the return of the XFL. Later on that day, Doomsday Clock moved to 2 minutes to midnight.
The world is that much closer to ending because the XFL has been resurrected. Jesus. You know, I thought it was going to be the UFL, and it's interesting that it's the XFL planning 2020 for the release of the start of the seasons and everything. It sounds like, and we're probably going to talk about this a lot on the next Journey into Wrestling, folks, episode 11. That'll be not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday.
And see, this is something that we can touch on right now that is
sure.
dipping our toe into that, but
sure.
also talks about something that we've talked about before. So there is something I heard that may or may not happen, because obviously this has been brought up maybe once or twice about Vince possibly selling the WWE. And the talks before was like back in a couple years ago, Disney got brought up. And this is before Disney. No, it was around the time maybe they bought Star Wars, maybe after that. Because Vince had no desire to sell the company until UFC sold for like $4 billion. And then he was like, that doesn't seem like a bad deal. So now he's in his 70s. He's starting a new company. He's starting a new venture. And how much further can he take the other one?
As himself, not very much further. I think he's as far as he can get it. You know? So there are talking. I shouldn't say there are talks between the two. There are rumors and innuendo that there is a potential buyer for the company. Oh, Riri.
Fox Entertainment.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
All right. Now, they would have the extra money to purchase this if the sell with Disney goes through.
Yes, they would.
And they would just put it on their own network. WWE on Fox. Here's my worry. Then Rupert Murdoch would own almost everything wrestling because he would own all the libraries for everything. Who would run this thing? See, with Disney, I can almost see them being like, all right, Triple H, you're in charge, you run this. And we're your bosses, but you're in charge.
We trust you, yeah.
Well, I can see it, just like Kathleen Kennedy, just like dudes over at Marvel. We'll keep those guys in charge because they know their business. Who is Disney to come in and just absolutely say, I know more than you in this, let me tell you what to do? They have their input, but obviously if they mess up royally, Disney has the right to come in and out them and get them out. But, oh, hey, your computer shut off.
No, actually, I just got a notification from YouTube that says Triple H is live with Kathy Kelly. It's probably something to do with NXT since it's just about over or has just ended.
Well, anyway, yeah. So Fox, maybe, and I think it's a long shot, but they would be selling their film industry, selling off their film division, potentially buying into the professional wrestling industry, and Fox owning WWE would be a lot like Ted Turner owning WCW.
Yeah, they got a lot of money to do whatever the fuck they want, and shit's going to amp up.
Well, they got a lot of money to do whatever they want, but then they also don't know wrestling.
That's also true.
And so, who knows? It's probably not going to happen. But there were rumors that Stephanie wants to get into politics.
Oh, lame.
And Vince is looking at doing this new XFL thing. That would leave Triple H like the odd man out. And because Shane doesn't have a role in the company anymore, Linda's out. Man, it's a weird air to breathe because we could be living in a world coming into the 2020s where the WWE as we know it now
is without McMahon.
Well, is without it, we don't even recognize it. It's something completely different, and it's gonna be interesting. Going to be very interesting. But yeah, I with the whole Fox thing, I wanted to bring it up because of that. Because now they're selling off their film division, but they're going to keep their television stuff going. They're going to keep Fox News. They're going to keep the Fox network. They're going to keep like a lot of their television production studios or whatever. So they're going to keep that. And if they're looking to expand somewhere else, that is something that they can look at because it's in the entertainment industry. It's a ratings driver, even if it isn't what it used to be 15 years ago. Still drives in a couple million people every Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, it does.
So interesting. I just thought I'd bring that up.
Well, I love that we got a little wrestling on Journey into Comics. Haven't had that in a hot minute. Gotta love that. Bringing it back. Brandon's popping some bubble wrap. But I want to get back to the Doomsday Clock, Brando. I figure sometimes we save the comic news for the end of the show, but today we'll do it at the beginning just to mash it up a little bit. Well,
you saw that the real life Doomsday Clock is at 2 minutes to midnight.
Yeah, that's crazy. Iron Maiden. 2 minutes to midnight. I can't believe we just tried to do that. That was awful, but whatever. Live and you learn, Brando. I love Maiden, and I love 2 minutes to midnight. I hate that that's the reality that our world is, but you know what? It's not really a big surprise, especially with all the shit going on. You just heard recently that Trump tried to fire Robert Mueller, but couldn't do it because all the special counsel said, well, fucking quit. So, very interesting. But back to the comic book side of things. Doomsday Clock number 3 comes out, Brando. This is the other side of the story of why the fuck and how the fuck is comedian here. How's that work? It doesn't make any sense. And right out the gate, you get a really awesome realization that this is literally the actual continuation from what happens in the original Watchmen comic. He gets thrown out the window. The original Watchmen comic, he's going to hit the cement, but this time he never lands where he originally landed in the comic. He's somewhere else. And you learn that, he's on a warpath because now Ozymandias is in his world. And he can exact revenge, and he's got a fucking warpath. And I loved the black and white silent film that kind of like plays through the middle of the book that just kind of interjects in certain spots.
Well, it's not a silent film. It's more like a noir.
I meant
detective.
noir, my bad.
Because like the whole time that I'm reading that, I'm hearing like the whole like I remember they used to do this game on Who's Line called like Film Noir, where like it would be Ryan and Colin, and they would both be like narrating themselves, and they had like this really generic piano music playing in the background, like, and I just like heard that in my head every single time that it would go back to it. It's like, see, he was here, and then he was there, and now he's dead. See.
But in this book, man, it's cool because right out of the gate, when comedian comes out of the water from landing in this other place, boom, Dr. Manhattan is there.
Yeah, but they're doing it like we still haven't seen a full-on visual of him yet.
Correct. They're teasing it. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we get back to the moment where you've got Lex Luthor shot on the ground, Ozymandias and comedian are having their like standoff thing, and comedian keeps trying to break the glass, which I loved because he's setting this up slowly but surely, like, don't worry, at some point you're not going to have anywhere to run, and so what now? Ozzy nowhere, and then he jumps out the window. Ozymandias jumps out the window like a boss. Remember, he's acrobatic, so he can do stuff like that. He's got his cat with him, which is kind of weird, which I love. There's a beautiful 4-shot panel where he's jumping from one rooftop to a scaffolding, and the moon is in the background, and just the way they play that 4-panel thing out to let you feel the motion of him doing that jump is really cool. I really loved the art in this run of books has just been so outstanding. The art they've done is just really true to the OG Watchmen style and captures a kind of modernist look on everything as well. Ozymandias ends up landing on the roof of a car. Well, he actually lands on the awning first, but then breaks through onto the roof of a car. And then we get back to the Batcave, Brando. What did you think about the stuff between Rorschach and Bats?
I really enjoyed it. We get to see a little bit. We actually get to see the new Rorschach's face.
Finally, yeah.
And I like how he gave Batman Kovac's journal, the original Rorschach, and then he's like getting like impatient while Batman's reading. It's like, how far are you? Page 4. Really? That's it? and Batman's like, you should go wash up. Like, yeah, get some rest. And then, so then he, like, Alfred like gives him like basically goes into all these rooms, and he's like, it's too big. He's like, this is literally the smallest guest room in the house. So you're gonna have to make yourself comfy. He's like, did you make
sorry,
this pancake?
man.
Did you make those pancakes I ate? I can whip some more up. So then he goes and takes a shower and sleeps for 24 hours.
Now, hold on. There's a very important thing about the shower that I want to mention.
Oh, with the whole...
because he feels so gross that he touched Ozymandias. He can't get over it. He has to get clean. He touched him, and he has to get clean. And it's like this compulsion. It's really crazy what they do there, I'm trying to look here because I'm wondering if one of the Minutemen... No. What I thought was not something I could confirm. I just was wondering if one of the Minutemen from the original Watchmen might have been the father of Rorschach 2.0, just trying to uncover the mystery of who he is. But I don't think I really have a good lead on who this person could be.
So this book, in the timeline, how many years does it take place after the original Watchmen? Is it 6 years?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Because my first gut, and I think the guy, I think he's older, so it may not even match up right. The kid reading the comic book outside of the newsstand.
Oh, shit. Brandon, my copy of Watchmen is right here within arm's reach. Let me grab it real quick.
Because he's like a teenager, and he's at that newsstand, and he hardly ever says anything, if he says anything at all, if I remember. and like he's just there reading this big epic comic. Like he's just there and he's always reading.
Look what I just found.
Oh,
Laficon keepsakes.
there we go.
Inside my Watchmen.
Inside
Okay.
the Watchmen.
I'm trying to find this here. Yeah, man, they actually kind of redrew some of the shots from the original Watchmen in this book.
Yeah. Dude, I'm digging it. As a Watchmen fan, I'm really digging what they're doing with this so far. I really, really like kind of the twist that Batman pulls on Rorschach in this.
Oh, it was brilliant because he's like it's weird because Bruce knows that something's up because the button has happened by this point.
Yeah.
And knows some shit is weird. But this guy is talking crazy nonsense to him, Brando. And of course Bruce is going to be like, I know exactly where you need to go. Let's send you to Arkham before you become another one of my villains that fucks me up.
Since no one else can see us on air, of course, we recorded this through Skype, and we started doing this with video chat up. So that way we can see each other and we're not talking over each other as much as we used to. But it's funny because how Nate has the camera set up, when he looks at me, he looks like Wilson from Home Improvement. Where I can only see his eyes.
Yeah, I need to get a better setup for my iPad so I can actually be more visible when I'm recording in the comic room.
Well, it's just funny to me because it's just like cracking me up.
Heidi-ho, neighbor.
I'm just because if I had my little taskbar on my laptop to be like a picket fence, it would be perfect.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious. Okay.
Have you found the kid yet, Nate? Have you found the kid?
I have. He is in chapter 3, the start of chapter 3. He's got glasses. His hair is a little nappy. I mean, ish. He's looks like he's smoking too. So this person would probably be about 18. It wouldn't be too far off the stretch to assume this could be possible. This kid sitting there. That's actually a really interesting concept, Brando.
It was just something I thought of when I read this issue. When we finally see his face, I'm like, I wonder if that's him.
The next page was Dr. Manhattan's blue cock. So I got it right that time, Brando. Not Rorschach.
That is
I love the mime and the marionette, by the way. That story is developing nicely.
Them going into the bar and they're wearing the makeup and they like a Joker gang member. Like, hey, you can't be wearing that makeup around here. This is Joker's territory. And then like he grabs her and he's gonna cut a smile into her face. And the mime points a gun and shoots the dude in the head with an invisible gun.
God, it's such dope imagery, though. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, they kill everybody in the bar, and they decided to go seek out this Joker character. So we're gonna get to see the Joker in this. It's gonna be pretty cool. I'm really excited about this book, dude. It's slowly coming together. We got to see a little bit more of. There was the. What was I gonna say? I think I might have lost it. I think I might have pulled a Nate.
It's okay. It happens from time to time. One thing I really love, too, though, about the mime is that not only does he use the invisible gun, which is cool as fuck, at some point he also starts throwing knives. Invisible knives, which is badass. And then, of course, Marionette, I don't know if you noticed this, but what she is doing is creating an invisible string like she's a marionette to slice people in half. And it is fucking gruesome. She chops a dude's hand off. She cuts a dude in the middle of his fucking face in half. Like, oh, man. And then I love that there's like she's going to attack, and the last thing this guy is seeing is like the blood red, and then it transforms into the bottle. It's actually the whiskey bottle, and they're pouring shots, and they're like, well, better go find this Joker character. Like, I guess we're going to have to go see what the fuck this guy's about. So it's like, to me, will Mime and Marionette end up being, like, accomplices with the Joker and working alongside of him? Because they have some cool fucking shit that they can do that he will love to see. I mean, imagine Joker just like freaking out, like, "Oh my God, you've just pulled a gun out of thin air and blown his fucking head off." You know? I don't know. I was just riffing. But
Was that like Matt Smith if he played the Joker?
Matt Smith,
like
the Doctor? I don't think so. That really wasn't where I was going with it. But
well, I mean, your Joker just sounded like very British.
Oh well, probably.
No, dude. As I said about the twist at the end, I really enjoyed the, Batman like waking him up, or like the new Rorschach wakes up, and Batman's like, "I read the book, and I know where Dr. Manhattan is," and he has like this like Dr. Manhattan finder thingy, and the like this locator, and then he leads him into Arkham Asylum. They kind of like break in, and he goes, he's in there, and he leads Rorschach into that. He lets Rorschach go into the cell, and then he shuts the door behind him, locking him in Arkham Asylum. Batman's like, "You are freaking nuts. I'm out. Peace."
And he actually had him locked in Jervis Tetch's cell where the Mad Hatter had once been.
Yep.
Because carved into the wall is "We're all mad here," which I loved. And Rorschach is pissed. He's like, no, I can't. You're making a mistake, Bruce. Let me out. Let me out.
No, you're making a mistake, Bruce. Let me out.
No, don't make mistake, Bruce.
Oh, go. Hey, Bruce. Hey, come on, Batman. You're making mistake. Oh, come on.
Oh, hi, Selena.
Oh, hi. Yeah, no, come on. I'm not really going to cut your eyes out. Oh, hi, Vite.
What would you give this book, Brando?
Oh, man. I enjoyed it. I liked the noir parts
with Nathaniel Dusk,
because I liked that, and then I liked the payoff after the book where they kind of show you like how he was now dead. And, like they kind of did like a little bit of world building with that, where you got to see like this old era like People magazine or something like that, where they have like those like celebrity gossip mags.
Yeah.
I liked it, but to the same token, I kind of felt like it slowed the story down, which I guess that's kind of the point of it. But
I think it was supposed to be a lesson-building piece where you're supposed to be learning a lesson alongside of that ties into the overarching theme of this particular issue, and most likely the whole book as a whole.
It did remind me of like the little break in the story that we would get from the whole like newsstand type thing from the original.
Yeah.
But I would give this probably a good solid 4. Because I really enjoyed a lot of it here, and I mean we still have a lot more to go, but so far this probably isn't my favorite issue, but it had a couple of big moments that I was really big fan of.
Same. This is one thing I kind of am really happily anticipating when I'm reading these books is like you think about the original Watchmen and it's a slow burn. That book doesn't pick up and get fucking nuts till the midway point, really. Mm-hmm. And then really all hell breaks loose because everything is building. Like you said, it's character building. It's getting everything set, all the pieces on the board where they need to be, and then we can start really moving shit. And I think we're getting there. And I love that they're slowly still dropping in more characters. At some point, Barry Allen has to show up in all this, I would assume. If Joker's showing up, you would assume that the Flash, he had such a huge role with the button and what that meant for Eobard Thawne and the Reverse Flash. I just think that slowly but surely we're going to learn more of the Watchmen are not dead and that their fates were not forever sealed in that time frame because Manhattan pulled them out of that time frame because he realizes the mistakes that were made.
Do you think that could actually mean Kovacs could return?
Possibly. That might be the biggest shock of them all. Maybe a fake Rorschach gets killed by the real Rorschach. Someone playing. He thinks he's just an imposter. He doesn't realize it's somebody who's actually trying to like carry the mantle. But then again, this might be Kovac's plan the whole fucking time, is to have this kid carry the mantle of Rorschach 2.0. And I can't unsee now that kid at the newsstand from the original Watchmen and being the current Rorschach. It's too perfect. It would be too perfect for them to do.
Yeah, dude. I'm looking forward to the next book for sure. But speaking of Batman, all right,
yes, sir.
So I mentioned on the last episode that I've been playing the Telltale Batman game.
Yeah.
Well, I beat it, and I beat it Friday night, falling asleep because I was a bit tired, and we elected not to do the show. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can beat this game. And, I was like 10 o'clock passing out. I died because I fell asleep.
Oh, no, I've done that before.
Now, granted, I didn't die. I filled a quick time.
Last night you played your Telltale Batman game.
Yes.
And around 10 o'clock your time, which would be 9 o'clock my time, you were falling asleep playing the game.
Yes.
So here's the funny thing.
Where we would have been recording a show.
Yeah.
And I could have done it. But I was yawning and tired. I was already tired. I'm like,
we were
maybe
talking about
better.
Revenge of the Yawns.
Yes, it would have been Revenge of the Yawns. However, I'm like, what? I think I can get through this. I need to get through. I think I was just getting ready to start episode 5. So, buddy, this is probably either my second or top Telltale game.
Damn.
I enjoyed it that much. Number one, I'm a huge Batman fan, so that alone does it. Number two, they did a lot of cool stuff with this that breaks up the norm. A lot of it is so Batman, and some of it is like, let's turn it on its head. I mentioned last week about the whole Tom Wayne thing, right?
Yeah.
About how he was dirty. How he was, and the guys, this is going to be spoilers. I'm sorry. But if you don't want to hear what I'm saying about here, maybe skip forward maybe like 5-10 minutes, depending on how much we're going to talk. Because Nate has something he wants to talk about too.
Yeah, also Telltale related. It's just bizarre, the symmetry between you and I.
Because, well, I mean, and that's kind of why I set it up, because we went from Watchmen DC to DC Telltale to Telltale Marvel. That's how we're going to do it. And then from there we can go to another Marvel. Haha.
Oh, see what you did there.
Yeah, man. See, we don't even have a rundown. I haven't seen it, and I still am such a pro on putting this thing together. That's why I am the pod master.
Yeah. You got that shout out on Brews with Dudes. That was pretty cool to hear.
Yeah, the pod master is here. So, all right. So, Tom Wayne was dirty. He wasn't the philanthropist that everybody perceived him. Granted, he was that, but that was sort of his mask. Because he was involved in some of the down and dirty in what was going on in Gotham. And he had his own share of blood on his hands. The mugging of the Waynes was actually a hit set up by the mayor.
Mayor Hill?
Mayor Hill. Who was taken out by Lady Arkham.
Ooh.
And the children of Arkham.
That's interesting.
And then the identity of Lady Arkham is revealed. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm sitting down, and I'm wearing my brown pants.
Vicky Vale.
What?
She was adopted. She was born Victoria Arkham.
Wow. That's interesting as shit.
Harvey, Two-Face, is becoming more and more dominant. Volatile, yes. He is so desperate to take out the children of Adam, he detonates a city block.
Holy shit.
And kills innocent civilians.
Damn, Harvey. You cold.
Yeah. Like, this game was freaking awesome. At one point, when you find out that Vicky is Lady Arkham, is at the press conference when Bruce is supposed to be stepping down from Wayne Enterprises to be replaced and his replacement is Oswald Cobblepot.
Oh shit!
She stabs you with a pin that is that drug that I told you about last week.
Yeah.
And Bruce charges and beats the crap out of Oswald. Harvey then has Bruce committed to Arkham Asylum. And these guys go in there, they pay off a guard to go in there and beat you up. And somebody comes in there to stop them. And that is a patient who has never told his name to anybody and is known only as John Doe.
Okay.
He is the most improved patient at the asylum. It's Joker.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's, hey there, Brucey. Oh, we're going to get along just fine. You'll see. You'll be just fine. Just stick with me, Brucey. He has the laugh. And it's really interesting to see. And, okay, so Joker knows who Lady Arkham is and knows where her drugs are. And Bruce is like, how do you know all this stuff? He goes, I can help you get out of here, but then you'll owe me a favor.
Oh, shit.
So ending the season, Bruce owes Joker a favor. And Joker's not even Joker yet, really.
He's just unknown patient X.
Well, like, by the end of it, he's out. He has the white face, he has the green hair, but he didn't have, like, the red lips, like the lipstick. And then at the very end, he had the red lips. So it's like, we're going to see him. And I've already heard that he is in season 2.
Awesome.
But Harvey is Two-Face, and he doesn't even have half his face messed up. He's the, it's more of the mental.
It's like kind of the Dark Knight when they gave him the name before he was the face.
Right, but it's even more volatile. Like, he even has, like, the voice.
Oh, the kind of gruff alternate voice.
This is what we need for Harvey. Harvey's weak. And then you could try to appeal to him. He's like, I'm your friend, Harvey. He's like, I don't know what I'm saying, Bruce. You're weak, that's why. He's like, it's awesome because it keeps coming back in through. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't stop him. I don't want to hurt you. He's like, but you've got to, Harvey. You've got to take out Bruce. And it was done, like, so great. And playing this, and I understand Gotham is a thing, and it's a completely different entity here. And we are in flux with these DC movies. We have varying quality. We don't know what's what. We don't know what the Matt Reeves stuff is going to do. We don't know what we don't know. And I'm just saying that while Gotham is a thing, we are in ripe territory to have an actual Batman Bruce Wayne TV show.
Yeah.
Where this game told the story from both perspectives, you could have a TV show like that where it follows Bruce and Batman along this story, and you can insert these awesome characters. You could do kind of a villain of the week thing sometimes, because there's so many different villains you could pull from, but then you have the overarching story arc of Harvey and then Selina and then Cobblepot in there. And then the Joker's in there, too. And then you could bring in the Riddler later on. And you could bring Freeze. You could Ra's al Ghul. You could do
Clayface.
Yes, exactly. You could do Clayface. You could make Clayface a bigger villain than maybe he's ever been portrayed as.
Bane.
Absolutely. And so, and as I said, I understand Gotham is its own separate type of thing that's going way back. You could actually do season 1 where he's early on Batman. He's already is Batman, and we can have like some of the early stuff, but then we still get some of the mob stuff. Then we get the Gotham getting crazier because Batman's around. It's go ahead.
I was just gonna say I love so much that Telltale did a Batman game. Everything I've played from Telltale is just like, yep, I love it. Yep, I love it. Yep, it's great. Yep, it wins. And I keep seeing Batman. I saw on my PlayStation thing that you were playing it, and it just makes me so badly want to play it. So hopefully at some point in the near future I will get to play it. I have been playing the Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale game. And Brandon, I'll tell you a funny story. Last night, about 9:30 my time, that's about 10:30 your time, I was in bed playing Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy, falling asleep, not able to finish it, calling it a night, shutting it off early. But I want to say the main reason I brought up the Telltale Guardians thing is because something in Chapter 4 happened that I predicted should happen in comic books back on Journey into Comics 172 Nerds of the Round Table 3, okay? So in Nerds of the Round Table 3, we had the conversation about cannabis and comic books and what does that do, and I had the funny thing of, like, it'd be great if Groot was smoking weed, and then, like, Groot is smoking a plant, and he's a plant, and I am Groot, you know, like, real slow and whatnot. So I'm playing this Telltale game, and at the end of Chapter 3 happens, and then at the start of Chapter 4, you're falling, and you and the Guardians end up falling in this cave-type place where you're in these spores. And all the Guardians are, like, coughing and getting sick, and you're like, you got to get out there. But Groot is sitting, like, almost Indian style, just chilling. And he's just, like, breathing in all this pollen, and he's just, like, having a good time. Well, Quill's trying to talk to him. Quill's like, hey, man, I'm trying to find a way out of here. Like, we're trapped. There's no wall. There's no holes. There's no... Where do we go? I don't know. Can you help me, Groot? And Groot's just like, I am Groot. And he starts laughing. So Quill's like, you're acting weird, buddy. Like, wait, I know how to communicate with you. Let me try something. So Quill's like, okay, I am Groot. And Groot just starts laughing uncontrollably because, you know, Quill's saying something stupid to Groot, and Groot knows it, but he's also high, so he has no idea what's going on. It's great. It's so comedic. I laughed so hard at the fact that they did that to Groot because it made it really even funnier to me that he was the one that was all messed up and he only has such limited dialogue. So then sometimes he would be like, am I Groot? Groot, am I? You know, like, you can only do so much, you know. It's limited there, but it's pretty fun, Brando. I am looking to beat that hopefully by next weekend. So hopefully I'll have something to talk about on the next Journey into Comics as far as Telltale is concerned. I do really want to play the Batman series badly. I also want to really get down on the Game of Thrones Telltale that happened. Did you beat that?
Yes, that was really good.
Cool.
It's different because it's a story that takes place kind of in between season 2 and going in. No, wait. 3, it's the beginning of the game is the Red Wedding. So it's right at the end of season 3 and it goes into season 4.
Cool.
And you play as a bannerman for the Starks. So it's a much smaller family known as the Foresters. But it does have some of the actors and characters from the show that kind of interact. Jon Snow, Cersei, Marjorie, Tyrion, Ramsay Snow makes an appearance, and even Daenerys makes an appearance.
Sweet.
It's that was really worth it. The only thing that was a negative to me about that was I actually had a moment where what I did messed up it messed up the sequence to the point where everybody who was important in that room died.
Whoa.
Like, I was like, it was literally, okay, so that one moment to me was like a Red Wedding thing to me. It was like, there's everybody. And then it said, try again. I'm like, oh. I was kind of hoping
wrong.
I wasn't mad that I chose wrong. I was hoping that was how it was going to end.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
Because that was so Game of Thrones, where one bad choice, one bad sentence killed everybody in the room, good and bad. Nobody walked away from that whole thing alive. And, of course, that's not the way it ends up playing out at all. Because when I replayed it again, like, literally nobody died.
Oh, that's awesome.
But the game, they tried their best to write a Game of Thrones type of story that would catch you off guard. And I feel like they relatively succeeded.
Well, that's good.
The only bad thing is I don't know if we're going to see a season 2, and they definitely leave it really open for there to be one.
Well, that's good.
I mean, it's there, but I don't know if we will. I mean, after all, there are rumors upon rumors of us getting a Bethesda-made Game of Thrones game.
You know what? I actually have some more comic book news that I totally forgot to tell you. That's actually crossover with video game news. Did you hear about this big conglomeration that happened, Brando? Some dudes from Insomniac, some dudes from Visceral Games, and some dudes from another game company, Grasshopper, I don't think it was Grasshopper, somewhere else, are all coming together to make the ultimate Avengers game. It will be... From what I understand, this is going to be them attempting to bring the closest iteration of a story that's very much like your Arkham's in Avenger form, where you would play through multiple times and have multiple outcomes and endings based on who you play as.
Okay, so is this the one that's being published by Square?
I'm not sure. I just recently saw... Let me see if I can pull that up. I had it pulled up, oh wait, maybe I do have it pulled up. Is it right here? Oh no, that's the pop news that we have about Avengers. We'll get into that in a minute too. I need to go to video game stuff here. Worldwide Gaming. Let's see. They talk some stuff about Hakushu, Z Fighter, Denethys Riot, Nintendo. Come on, Avengers. This was yesterday, so I got to get to yesterday's news. I can't. Why does it always happen? I always talk about this, Brando. Every time you need something from the internet, it just does not deliver.
That's why I bookmark.
Typically I do, but for some reason I didn't think to save this announcement. And... Oh, okay, I'm almost there. Because, yeah, they might the release date for Spider-Man might have accidentally been leaked, too. I didn't click on that, though, but I did see it. And somewhere around here was the news. I feel like if I just search Avengers, it'll come up, but I'm like kind of a man on a mission now. You know how that goes, Brando.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I'll fucking scroll and find it sometime.
Scrolling.
Well, I'm going to pass the ball over to Brando for a quick second, and I'm going to do a quick search. Brando, throw something our way.
They hating. Yeah, dude. I mean, I got nothing. Y'all throwing the ball to me. It's like I'm over here, like, just rocking back and forth. I bought some vinyl.
Yeah.
I bought some games. I mean, I think I've mentioned on the show here that I want to start collecting vinyl more. And in the fall, I got a few vinyl records. My mom bought me, like, Deep Purple Machine Head, Rush 2112. And so I went down, and we were in Indy yesterday. And I went to this little record store called Indie CD and Vinyl. I went in there, and they have a lot of selection, but not a lot of stuff that I want. Let's put it that way. I'm more hard rock, heavy metal. And so I'm looking through, and I couldn't find anything that I was looking for the bands that that I want to collect for, other than some of the bigger ones: Priest, Iron Maiden, Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera.
Yeah.
But so then I go to Metallica to the U section, and I find quite the hidden gem. And it's the single. It's the the picture disc single for Creeping Death.
Oh,
84.
so good.
Damn it, Nate, the way you said that.
It's so good, Brandon. It just looks so good. Your picture disc. I know it sounds dirty and sexual, but
It just reminded, the way you said that reminded me of the girl who got the tattoo on her butthole. And
say what?
okay, I got a video to send you later on. Like, don't worry, there's nothing like graphic in it because it's on YouTube.
Oh.
But she's definitely inebriated at this tattoo convention getting a tattoo on her butthole. And she kind of sounds like that. Just thanks for So I got the Creeping Death picture disc single. It doesn't have the original sleeve, but the vinyl is in really good condition. And I got it for a good price. And I'm very, 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 I was shocked. I was like, here's a win. So side A has Creeping Death. The other side has Am I Evil and Blitzkrieg.
I found it.
Finally.
Fucking finally. It was from 3 days ago.
Yeah, that's
that's how it happens. Crystal Dynamics, that's the team behind the iconic Tomb Raider franchise, has officially announced that their studio is about to get even more epic, adding the likes of world-famous industry names from that of Naughty Dog, Visceral Games, Sledgehammer, Monolith, and more for the upcoming Avengers project. So fans of the Uncharted series, Last of Us, and Dead Space have something to look forward to with this. There was a recent press release. Go ahead, sorry.
They are owned by Square.
Okay, so
that is the Square. That is the Square Avengers game.
Cool.
And I did see where Amy Hennig, she is on board with that. She is one of the original creators of Uncharted.
Yeah, here's what the press release says. We're committed to delivering an incredible, completely original Avengers experience to our gamers, and that means we are always looking to add amazing developers to our existing best-in-class studio talent, said Scott Amos. He's the co-head of studio at Crystal Dynamics. As development progresses, our studio continues to grow. The tremendous progress we've made on the Avengers project further drives us forwards towards our goal of crafting something all Marvel fans will be proud of and will play out for years to come. We can't wait to show you what we mean in the near future. We've recently hired 15 world-renowned industry veterans spanning production leadership, animation design, art, and engineering who have previously worked on such games as Batman Arkham Origins, Dead Space, Star Wars Battlefront, and many more. Their AAA experience adds an already deep roster, making us well-positioned to deliver on the ambitious goals we've set for ourselves with the Avengers project. It's a stellar addition of many people who fit incredibly well into our wheelhouse of building game experiences that we all love. So that I'm guessing we don't see that game for a couple of years, Brando, but hot shit, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, they announced it, man, like last year. Like maybe around like the springtime, because I want to because we got wind of there being a exclusive Spider-Man game to the PS4 being made by, I believe that one's being made by Insomniac, right?
Yeah, Insomniac Games making that Spidey game.
So they're making that. I cannot wait for that. That is supposed to come out this year. And that is one of my games to get this year for sure. But I'm also excited for an Avengers, definitely. And we probably won't see that until about 2020.
Speaking of Avengers, Brando, I don't know if you saw this or not. Somebody, I don't know how some of these motherfucking people get a hold of these so early, but somebody already has their hands on some of the Avenger Infinity War pop line, right? And I think the picture's now been removed from the internet because it was a little spoilerific here. So, folks, if you're trying to remain spoiler-free for Infinity War, cover them motherfucking ears in 3, 2, 1. So here's what's up, Brando. The Thor pop leaked. Somebody posted a picture of the Thor pop. He's got his new weapon, which I can't tell you why he has a new weapon, and there's something funky with his face. I also can't tell you that either because you haven't watched Ragnarok yet, I'm guessing, and if you have, that's awesome. But, so there's that little tiny thing that gets spoiled, just his new weapon and, whatever that might entail, him having the new weapon. Obviously, we see a little teaser of him trying to forge that in the trailer. But on the back of the box, something much more interesting gets found. They only have a few Avengers. You've got a Thor pop, Captain America pop, Iron Man pop, and then a Spider-Man pop, a Groot pop, and Hulkbuster. So an updated Hulkbuster pop is coming out. And then, of course, you've got Thanos and then the children of Thanos, your Proxima Midnight, Corvus Glaive, Ebony Maw, and Cull Obsidian. Here's the thing, though, Brando. They don't call him Spider-Man. The back of the pop box says Iron Spider. Legit. So this is now the second time we've got a confirmation that they're going to be bringing this to the big screen, because there was also a Lego set that recently leaked that had the Iron Spider legs coming out of the suit, meaning it is possible that this is what we are getting in the MCU as our actual Iron Spider outfit, which I can't complain. I love it.
Hell yeah. I'm down.
Same. I'm guessing, like I said just a second ago, you probably haven't yet seen Ragnarok.
No, yeah.
I got it to you. You have it, but
I assume that the wife is going to want to watch that with me.
Yeah.
So we just haven't had time to sit down together and watch that.
You definitely should watch it together. It's great.
And yeah, I mean, I have it, and it's good to go. But I did have to go out and buy a full price copy of Ant-Man.
Holy shit.
Yep.
I wish you would have just told me. I could have given you my digital code for $0. I don't use them.
Oh. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I need it for my collection.
There you go.
So now all I'm missing is, well, no, I guess I am missing Guardians 2, Spider-Man, and Thor.
Yeah, well, Thor's not officially out in physical release. But,
no, but I mean, it is what it is. I was hunting for it. My logic was this: if I buy it, I'm going to find it tomorrow for $5.
Yeah, and then just return the brand new copy.
Well, no. If I don't find it, then I'm not going to find it at all, and I'm just going to spend the full price for it anyway.
And that's what you had to do.
Because we are reviewing all of the MCU movies over on our Patreon.com/Journey to Comics. Every single Wednesday, you're getting a new review for every movie in the MCU leading up to the Infinity War. We're calling it sort of a road to Infinity War. And my first review that I'm doing for Game Addicts, along with my co-host Mike, goes up on February 25th. And what the funny thing here is, Nate, the next one goes up on March 25th.
Weird, exactly 1 month apart.
And so I got Thor Dark World watched. I need to get that to Mike so he can watch it, so we can, discuss that movie. But, as we've said here before, he hasn't seen Ant-Man, and I didn't own it. The last time I watched it, I think I just borrowed it from Rob. So they have if you go to your local Walmart or whatever, they have like the whole releases for like up to whatever. And they all have different box art. I remember you saying that, Nate, how they all had different box art. That doesn't really matter to me. I don't care. I just want the movie. And so I picked up Ant-Man for like $20-something. I'm not mad about that because I thought the movie was good enough to warrant a full price. I've only ever seen it once, but I really enjoyed my viewing of that. And of course, we actually went into detail last week talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I'm pretty excited for that movie as well. Again, though, here, Nate, I always say I have to try and pick and choose what movies I see in theaters because a lot of times I'm just going to end up going by myself. And while that's fine and dandy for some people, I feel awkward a lot of times just sitting in there, like looking around and like everyone thinks I'm that loner guy that stinks and no one wants to be around. So maybe I will go see that movie. However, in May, of course, we have Infinity War, Deadpool 2, and Star Wars. So
oh yeah,
so there is that. I do have a gift card for an AMC theater that I need to use. I got one of those for Christmas. We got an AMC theater card, and we never go to AMC theaters.
There's not many by you.
There's one in Kokomo, and then there's one down in Indy. So it's not out of the question, just out of the way. So,
there's some at our place. There's lots up here. That's all we have.
And it is what it is. I feel like it's going to get used for one of those, something that we can just get away. However, I want to go to a concert this summer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, okay. And so, like, I assume that Ant-Man and Wasp comes out
July 6th.
Well, it comes out the same week as the concert that I want to go to. Because we have a certain event that we're not going to talk about yet.
Yeah.
That could be coming up right in the very end of June going into July. And then on July 3rd, Nate, down in my neck of the woods, down in Indy, down at Deer Creek, down at Verizon Wireless Center, down at Klipsch Music, down at Ruoff Mortgage Refinancing Center.
Whatever the hell you want to call it.
We are getting a Def Leppard and Journey stop.
That's awesome.
Now here's the thing. I've never seen either one of these bands live.
Yeah.
Of course, Journey is not with the original singer; it's with the newer dude. But
he's amazing.
He sounds just like Steve. Like it's.
Did
crazy.
you see that documentary on Netflix?
I never saw the documentary on it, but like
you should watch it. Don't Stop Believing. That's what it's called.
Of course it is.
And it's about this dude they just found him on fucking YouTube, man. He's some fucking Korean YouTube dude who was in a bar singing, and they were like, "Ha, yeah, right." Then they brought him into the studio, and he was freaking the fuck out. So when he tried to sing, he sounded awful, and they were like, "Oh, great. We wasted all this time and money to fly this guy out here, and he can't even fucking sing the parts like we thought he could." And then he could, totally, and then some. And they were like, "Oh, shit, well, okay." And then boom. The end. Now he's just playing dates with Journey like it ain't no thing.
Right. And, I wouldn't mind going to see both of these bands just to say that I've seen them.
Yeah.
These are two aging bands that I might not be so willing to go see if it was out of my way, but since it's over my shutdown, I'm like, and I actually might, know some people who want to go, so that might happen, and I might be taking the wife to a concert in August,
nice.
In the same place. So, man, movies for me sometimes, newer releases in theaters, they just get kind of pushed to the wayside. I don't go as often as I would like. I do enjoy going to the theater and having that experience, but even before I had a kid, I think we only went like 2 or 3 times a year, and that's even less so now. So,
yeah, man, I feel you on that. It's weird because if we're talking about the Marvel rundown, and we've discussed Ant-Man and the Wasp last week, so I think it's only fitting this week we talk about the next movie on the docket, and this one's a little over a year away as we sit right now. That's Captain Marvel, featuring Brie Larson. She's from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, a whole bunch of other junk. And the first set pictures released this week. And it kind of tore the internet in half, Brando. How much of this do you know? Do you know what all is going on? How much of this do you really... What's up?
I saw the pictures. That's about it. Like I was like, oh, cool. And then I went on with my day.
Well, when I saw, I was actually doing something, and I got like an email that said like Brie Larson first picture as Captain Marvel, and I was like, holy fucking shit! Like it's time to go. Like I can't wait to see this picture because I want to see what they do with this character. And I was stoked, and I was like, oh, she's got the old Marvel like color scheme going on. That's a cool nod. And like some of the internet's like, oh, what the fuck? That's not my Captain Marvel. She's got gold and red and blue, and that's not gold and red and blue. That's gray and fucking green and black, and that's not right. What the fuck? And I'm thinking like, this is awesome. This movie's set in the 90s, Brando. That's one thing to note. So she's got the fucking Rachel. She got the Rachel haircut. The color scheme of her current suit is an homage to her mentor, Marvel, who is the original Captain Marvel. At some point, she will level up her suit, as most superheroes do, and get her proper color scheme. And then we'll see her evolve in the story. But it's really, I'm really stoked because this is one of those movies that when they announced they were actually going to do a Captain Marvel movie, I was like, 2019, circle that shit. Like, I cannot wait. This movie got pushed around a little bit because it actually was supposed to be at the end of this year, 2018. It was going to be like, I want to say October, November of 2018, but when the Sony rights happened and we got Spider-Man back, it pushed everybody off one so that Spider-Man could go right there in the dead center of everything, and here we are. I love the nod to the old school Marvel. I am excited for the future of Marvel Comics. I can't say it enough. I guess I'm just a Marvel fanboy. That's all I have, Brando. That's really all I got for that.
Yeah, and all that jockeying for position could happen again, depending on the acquisition of the X-Men and all that kind of stuff, depending on what they want to do with it. Because as we're coming out of Infinity War, Part 2 or Avengers 4, it leaves it open for the next big storyline where you can easily start introducing the mutants and do something entirely different. So the timing is ripe for that. I actually bought X-Men Apocalypse.
Hell yeah. That's a good one.
I got that used for $3.
Score! Blu-ray?
Yep.
It's a hell of a deal. Yep. I think that's the only X-Men I don't have is Apocalypse. I have and Logan. Oh my God, Brando! What the fuck? We're a podcast about comic book shit. We haven't talked about some other important comic book news. Speaking of Logan, let's talk about the first time a comic book screenplay has been nominated for an Oscar with Logan. That's incredible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. That's pretty exciting as well. And it's also pretty exciting that all the nominations for Get Out too.
Get Out has tons of nominations. I love seeing that Guardians got a couple nods.
Best effects, yeah.
Yeah, so did Star Wars, of course. That's who they're really going up against.
You know what? So that would be The Last Jedi that got nominated?
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. Between those two, like, Guardians is more colorful, and so that
totally.
might actually, that might be enough to get it, and it is really pretty. But I mean, the effects in the Star Wars movie were on point, though.
The scene on Crate, dude. The white with the red. There's no cooler imagery in movies, and I loved Guardians, But to me, I think the clear winner for that, and we'll be talking about this on Foodies Wednesday. By the way, folks, check that out on the Journey into Comics Network. Foodies here, but we will be diving more into our. Go ahead, Brando.
No, I was going to let you finish. I was letting you know that I had something to say. So,
sure.
In my journey for collecting vinyl, I was looking at soundtracks today because I have the soundtrack for Ghostbusters and I have the soundtrack for Top Gun. So I'm looking at some other ones, and of course I see both Guardians 1 and 2 on vinyl, and then I see Stranger Things 2 on vinyl, and then I'm like looking around like they have to have it. Where is it? And they didn't have it, and I was so utterly disappointed that they didn't have the soundtrack for This Is Spinal Tap.
Oh, dude, I can't wait for you to come up into my neck of the woods again in the near future and come to Second and Charles, because that place has got used vinyl, and they have an amazing soundtrack section that might have everything you're looking for and more.
Cool. Dude, I don't even know what I want. I was just looking around.
89 Batman soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh, hell yeah.
God, that would be amazing.
They also had the soundtrack for Escape from New York.
Awesome.
Which I was like, I didn't even know that they had that out on vinyl. It looked like it was a newer release, so that's kind of cool. But I mean, I was just sort of like looking around, seeing what was all there, because with me and vinyl, of course, I'm a video game collector, and I kind of said this on the Game Addicts that's going to air this week. I'm not going to go too crazy. And what I mean by that is that like I'm not just gonna go out and buy every little vinyl that I can find. There's gonna be certain bands that I collect for and try and get their entire discography. But then I don't need to own every Iron Maiden record, Nate. I like Iron Maiden. I love Iron Maiden. But for vinyl, I think I would get Number of the Beast, Killers, Power Slave, Somewhere in Time, and Brave New World.
Seventh Son had a couple good tracks.
And Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Yes, of course.
And maybe where did they Donington, Live in Donington?
From there I thought about getting Flight 666 or something. Something like that. But then it's like Sabbath, I probably get a couple. I probably wouldn't get every Linkin Park record. I'd probably get Hybrid Theory, Reanimation, and Meteora.
Yeah.
And then I'd get a couple Motorhead. Megadeth is, man, I'm really weird on Megadeth because I'm really hit and miss with some of their records. So I would get Rust in Peace, Peace Cells, Countdown, Youth, and then from there maybe The System Has Failed if it's available, and then Endgame, and that might be it.
Hell yeah!
But I'm gonna be picky and choosy because it's this is a little bit more expensive than just buying games. So when it comes to soundtracks, it's I got Ghostbusters because I found it at Goodwill, and it was $1. I got Top Gun for free when my mom bought Rush and Deep Purple. I was because it was already cheap anyway. I think the Top Gun thing was only a couple bucks, and then he goes, "Yeah, dude, just take that."
Damn, nice.
And so I was pretty happy about that. Especially since all three of those are pressings from the '80s. So that was pretty cool. But I mean, how cool would it be to get the original Ninja Turtles movie soundtrack?
Oh yeah, absolutely, and the second one too, if you could find it.
Yeah, with Vanilla Ice.
Secret of the Ooze, dog.
I was in Think Geek over the weekend, and
it's a weird fucking thing to hear a person say. I hate to show my fucking age, but 10 years ago when I was in Think Geek, it was just a fucking catalog and the internet website. There was no goddamn storefront. Where I was from, we didn't have motherfucking Think Geek store where you just walk in and buy cool nerdy shit. You had to fucking go in a catalog, motherfucker.
Yeah, now they're owned by GameStop. God
damn it, of course they did that. Fucking GameStop.
Because that's where I got the Sarah Ryder GameStop exclusive because it's owned by the same company. So I bought the Pops there. But then, while I was in there, they were playing Ninja Rap. Ninja Rap.
I just recently watched Turtles 2 with Ollie. It was a great time to reminisce. The second Turtles movie, I think we've talked about this before. Actually, I think you brought this to my attention, and I've repeated this knowledge as sometimes I regurgitate the information you give me. But Turtles 2, they didn't use their weapons.
Hardly ever.
They don't.
No.
Almost literally the whole movie they don't. And every time you think they're about to, I was oh, Mikey's going to definitely use the nunchucks. Nope, he uses the yo-yo. Oh, Donnie's going to use his fucking bow staff. Nope, he's going to use this fucking Nerf-padded gladiator thing. It's just it's very awkward. But Brandon, I actually have a piece of comic book news to tie this back all together to the very first part of the episode. We're going to kind of Tarantino it, if you know what I'm saying. We talked about Tide Pods earlier, Brando. The Walking Dead through AMC recently tweeted a picture of a walker with blue and orange gunk coming out of his mouth that says, "We're not saying eating Tide Pods started a walker apocalypse, but we're not saying it didn't either. But please, guys, stop eating soap." Come on. Stop eating soap, guys. That's all I'm saying today, Brando. Is there anything else we wanted to add before we get on to this glorious episode of Journey to Comics? It's been episode 176.
I think I'm good. I'm tired.
Okay, I feel you, man. Totally. It's been a late night. Been a long time. Been going hard at it. We've been getting it done. Brandon, as always, folks can check us out on all the different podcasting places, whether it's iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music. We are now on Spotify. Also get us at journeyintocomics.com. That's where you can get 9 of the 10 shows. Please also go to GameAddicts.com and subscribe to Game Addicts Podcast. You can have them on your feed as well and check out all the awesome stuff that they do over there, talking about all the cool video game stuff. Check them out on YouTube. Also check out Journey into Comics on all the different social media sites, whether it's Facebook at Journey into Comics Podcast, on Instagram at Journey into Comics, on Twitter. Twitter's the one I was forgetting, at JIC Network. And obviously, you can find us on YouTube. We do backlog all the episodes there, folks. Go to our Patreon. Join the road to Infinity War. It's $1 for early access, $3 for early access, and exclusive content that includes the road to Infinity War. That's 18 straight weeks of us covering the MCU across all 9 of the 10 shows on the Journey into Comics network here. Brandon and I felt like we didn't need to be greedy and also review movies on Journey into Wrestling, since that doesn't really fit with Marvel at all. I don't think there's any way we could have shoehorned that in, because I don't think there's any wrestlers in the WWE that are in any of the MCU movies that I know of. I think not. You're just giving me this funk look. I'm not sure. Did I just ramble-bamble over you?
Drax is played by Dave Bautista.
But he's a former wrestler. He's not a current talent.
He came back to wrestle before the first Guardians came out.
Okay, fair enough. I see him more as an actor now. See what that movie did for his career? I totally forgot he was a pro wrestler.
John Cena is in talks to be Duke Nukem.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, nope. I pass. Hard pass. I will not be seeing that, John Cena. You're right. I can't see you in that movie, because I'm not going to.
Wyatt now does You Can't See Me.
Awesome!
So that's been added to the repertoire of Macho Man, Ric Flair, and Hulk Hogan.
All right.
And I'm teaching him The Rock next. He doesn't quite say it right, but he's getting there.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking, is that what you're trying to get him?
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be funny to try to teach him the word jabroni.
Well, he's saying, smell rock cooking?
Smell rock cooking?
Smell. I'm like, you smell some raw cooking?
No raw cooking.
With how you were positioned, kind of like the whole Wilson neighbor thing again, but like your microphone was like right up to your mouth, so when you smiled, it blacked out some of your teeth. So you look like a
How you doing, Brando? I'm doing pretty good right now.
Wow, you went there.
I done knocked out some of my goddamn teeth. I don't know. I don't know about you, but have you ever hit your front teeth on a microphone?
No, I never have.
Worst shit ever. Like, that's the worst pain ever. Fuck, my fucking teeth just hit the fucking mic. Man, take a bite out of this mic now. It's tinny.
Have you ever been recording, like, drums, and you're like...
Sneeze?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally. Sometimes you got to sneeze, man. Sometimes that's my biggest fear when I'm actually playing live, though, is sneezing during a song. Because, like, what the fuck can I do? I'm not going to be able to block it. I'm just going to explode all my germs to everyone in the fucking crowd. Like,
I just think it'd be funny if you sneeze so violently, you fell off your you fell off your drum throat, like, and you just fell, and they're just like, what? And you're like,
the song stops. I'm still trying to get. I'm like, I'm okay. Let's start over. Let's fucking do this again.
That'd be funny if you're like, just jump right back into it.
Hell yeah, we're professionals like that, man.
It'd be funny if you worked that into a spot though, where like you did it on purpose, but everyone else thought it was a mistake, and everyone just like stopped, and you get up, and then everyone like the band says, "Bless you." And then you guys just start playing again without, just jump right back into it.
That would be hilarious. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love it. A lot of stuff in the works, Brando, like writing music and stuff. It's been interesting and as far as the band front is concerned. But we'll save that for another day, another podcast, another time. We've got tons of them and tons of time to talk about them, Brando. Another day, another dollar, another death. Don't forget that tomorrow, folks, on the Journey into Comics Network, it's Tuesday, which means it's the day for the Poor Report. AP is going to be bringing you some political news and bringing some stuff going on, especially with the crazy world and all the information that's been going on now in our world and what's been going on with our Presidente. Brando, do you have anything else you want to add, my brother?
That's going to be it, guys.
All right. Well, for this week's episode of Journey into Comics, this is Journey into Comics 176, Dr. Manhattan's Finder Thingy. I've been Nate.
I've been Brando.
And we'll see you guys later. Oh, my God, Brando, we can't leave the show yet. I hate to do that to us, but I have to bring up this thing. How can we not bring up this thing right before we leave? Our podcast won a contest for the best tagline. And we got a little feature and a little shout out for Podcasting Smarter. Of course, Jennifer Crawford over there had me on as a guest back before we did the feature week in December, and it was a blast. But she had a thing. Hey, does your show have a tagline? If it does, put it below. The most likes wins. Well, Journey into Comics, fill your brains with shit, wins. And we win. We got a little extra shout out, which was cool. I really want to figure out how to make a cool shirt with fill your brains with shit, but the imagery I have is not probably the imagery that should go on a shirt. So just imagine soft serve. Just imagine soft serve.
Reading a book. It said fill your brains with shit.
That's also good. I love it. All right, well, let's try it again. Okay, go.
Well,
no,
hold on,
you
hold
go.
on.
You go.
One last thing.
Sure.
He's reading a Bill O'Reilly book.
Bum, 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 bum.
He's filling his brains with shit.
You're not wrong. That is literal shit, though, and not hypothetical shit. See, my thought, Brando, when we tell people to fill our brains with shit, I'm saying, like, fill your brains with fun, useless knowledge that you might be able to recall at a moment's notice to impress your friends. Fill your brains with cool knowing when a first appearance happened or some shit, or knowing the fact that the green colors for Captain Marvel are the original Marvel colors, that maybe you didn't fucking know that. That's the kind of shit I want people to fill their brains with, not fucking Bill O'Reilly, right-wing, Happy Hogan horse shit here, you know? Like, I'm not into that kind of shit, so... do you have anything? Do we want to try to officially do this again? We got so close there. I think that's the closest to ending a show we've ever not ended a show.
How happy was Hogan, though? I mean, after the whole thing kind of went down, I don't think he's really... I mean, he seems good, but I just don't think he's as happy as he could be.
You know, I've rewatched the whole MCU, Brandon. Happy Hogan. He's not that fucking happy. He's actually kind of a miserable prick for the most part. He kind of sucks.
I was talking about Hulk Hogan.
Oh. The actual... Now let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Brother.
Let me tell you something, brother.
I was gonna do a fucking voice and then I didn't.
Oh yeah, freak out. My name's Macho Man, first name Macho, last name Man.
Awesome. All right, folks. Well, officially, let's go ahead and get ourselves out of here. It's been a long, kooky, wacky night. And, folks, like I said, there's more to come. Keep checking out Journey into Comics. Every day of the week, we got a new show. Don't miss us. JourneyIntoComics.com. For this episode of Journey into Comics, it's been episode 176, Dr. Manhattan Finder Thingy. I've been Nate.
I've been Brando.
Keep filling your brains with shit. Later.